Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl, Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl, Nay.
Alrighty, we're jumping back in this week, and don't forget to check out the website, www.prettynerdzdpodcast, and that's nerds with a Z, .com, and check out our YouTube. But how's your week been going so far?
It's been pretty good. Quarantine ain't been bad. Been catching up on a lot of different television shows, going back and rewatching some shows and seeing some things I didn't actually pick up on the first time. That's interesting. Just really, honestly, just kicking it with the dog. Today kind of started, I went to visit my parents to check on them this weekend, just because my dad, he's an essential worker. So I want to make sure that he's doing okay. And, they, to me, they haven't been doing a good job of, on the base and giving them like masks and things like that. Cause I feel like they should at least, even though they work in they have their own little spaces, I still feel like they should give in like some type of protection while they're in there. But he says that, he feels like he's okay. So that's good. I'm pretty good. Dealing with no AC right now, like so fucking hot in my apartment, and the people are like, well, it's not a hot day outside, so even though the AC isn't working, we can't come and fix it because of the coronavirus and blah blah. I'm like, but it's hot as fuck in this apartment. Fuck y'all mean. And y'all know there's barely any windows. I'm on the second floor too, so heat rises. So any heat is just coming up to my apartment, and this apartment only got like 3 windows that have screens on them. So, well, only 3 windows, period. And then I do have a back patio, but it don't have no screens on it because I don't need all the bugs. And plus, I have severe allergies. So that adds to it, like all of the pollen and shit in the air that's coming in to my apartment. I've been dealing with my allergies because I had to open the window. So now my allergies are just going through the roof. But I don't know. I'll make it through.
I had to tell my apartment, I'm like, I got asthma. Come fix it now.
Oh, listen, I'm this close to pulling one of those. Like, y'all need to come fix this shit right now because I can't do this.
I'm like, they're not having oh no, bam. I was like, and it's different when you think about, it's nice outside where you're comfortable, but be like in the inside, it'd be a whole different beast.
That's what that's what I be trying to explain to people. It's not like they acting like it's like 20 degrees outside and that's gonna keep the apartment cold. No, nigga, it's a nice warm day outside. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna keep the apartment cold.
Right. Come fix it.
Ugh, child. Whole mess. What about yourself?
I'm okay. I listen, as much as I hate driving from, I guess you can say, the suburbs to downtown, it's like I miss going into the office. And I thought I'd never say that, but it's only been like a week and a half. Tomorrow make 2 weeks that we've been working from home, and it's like I'm over it. So over it. It's different when you gotta do it. But other than that, it's been going okay. Like, I'm bored out of my mind. It's so different. Like when you like, oh, I really can't go to the movies, or I can't go like hang out with my friends. So different. I appreciate it this coming time when we can get back out and play.
I just want to be able to like travel again. Like, I want to know when travel's going to be good again so that I can like, because and legit, you have so many plans you want to take and things like that, but it's like, I don't want to like pull the trigger and book a trip and stuff like that. And then, you know what I mean? Like, they haven't, I'm irritated because like they haven't really set any true guidelines of like sort of return back. So,
and now they've like extended to April 30th. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for it to be over. Y'all stay at home. Like, just stay home.
I agree. My office just told me my office just told me on Friday, because we were supposed to return back to work after the end of March, like in the beginning of April, and now they just told us we're going to go through all of April.
Listen, y'all, please stay home. Like, it was people here this past week that, like, what was the first we had? Was it Wednesday? Was that the first one? I feel like it was Wednesday was a good warm day. No, it was Thursday. And the parks were like packed. People weren't 6 feet apart. Children outside. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I can't. I don't know.
Girl, a whole mess. People just they not listening. Like I don't get like what's the, like, who from seeing all of like the people who are sick and things like that, like who wants to catch the virus? Like I don't want to catch the damn coronavirus. Like seeing what all these people are going through, like being hooked up to all of these breathing machines and shit like that. Like, man, listen.
And I don't think people get it, and like not on like no fear mongering type deals, but so many times people like, oh well, if I get it, I can fight it off. Like I've seen so many people like, well, if I catch it, I'll be fine. I don't have any underlying conditions. And I'm like, first of all, that's not just the whole caveat. It's like you could be perfectly healthy and still, you know, pass away from the complications of coronavirus. Because I'm like, basically, you're fighting off, from what I've seen, people like a bad case of pneumonia. And I'm like, for like taking myself, for example, not just like trying to fear monger, but I didn't know that I had a autoimmune like blood disorder until I went to the doctor, like took antibiotics, and then she was like, yeah, you have to go see a hematologist. So I would have like basically, I probably would have eventually known because I get a checkup every year. But think about like times where they're like, oh, well, you're fine. You don't have to come back for a checkup next year or something like that. You just never know. So just take y'all health seriously and just stay in the house, please.
Basically, please. It's really honestly, it's really not the most complicated thing to like say to people. Just, I mean, for people to do, like, sit your ass in the house, you know, go out to get your groceries once a week. Don't, you know, even though that's, to me, that's the hardest part for people like me. Like, you know, I'm a single person. I live alone. And so normally I grocery shop every couple of days. You know what I mean? Like I don't do like stack up on weeks full of groceries, because to me, that's a waste. You know what I'm saying? Since it's just me and I'm just feeding me. So I go to the grocery store every other day. But so it's been hard for me to just like think of it like, okay, I got to go every week, you know. So basically I have to essentially, you know, plan in advance or whatever like that. So that's been the toughest part for me. So I get it in that aspect, but I just feel like there's certain ways that you can just really, I don't know, I guess just adjust to this period so that we can all get out of it. Because the sooner, that's what I'm saying, the sooner people comply with it and realize, okay, this is serious, cut the shit, let me follow these instructions, the sooner that we can actually get through that shit, the sooner that we will be able to be free of it. Possible. You know what I'm saying? You see that China's cases once they did their complete full lockdown, stopped. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe that though?
Huh?
Do you believe it? Like, I kind of don't believe it. I think they may have like flattened their curve.
Probably. I think more than likely they flattened their curve, like you said, and they're just saying that they stopped gaining more cases. But I think that essentially that's just what, in all honesty, essentially I think that's all we're going to get in the United States is just the curve to kind of flatten out. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to keep rising necessarily, you know what I mean? But we'll probably still, obviously there'll still be cases that trickle in. But I mean, that's with any type of anything. But in order for us to return to normal, we can't keep having these every day, the cases skyrocket. Like I literally seen on the news, didn't we jump like 30 cases or something? I think we jumped like 30 cases since yesterday. So it's just like going up and up and up and up. And it's like, God damn.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, in my county, which I'm like, man, that is going to cause the numbers to probably soar this coming week. They're expanding testing into like 4 different neighborhoods, and they're like big communities. And I'm like, man, listen. I'm like, this going to cause it to like skyrocket.
Absolutely.
And I just wanted, like, for, I guess, like, for Black people, because I was like, when we first heard about it, it was like, oh, we were kind of invincible from Corona, and it was like, we couldn't get it. It's like we're already underserved when it comes to medicine. That's, studies have shown that true over and over again. So don't put yourself at risk where you're going into hospitals that already don't believe that you're in real pain. They probably don't even think that you got corona, that you just there trying to, like, just don't try not to put yourself at risk to even be in the midst of shit like that right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, and my heart goes out to the people of New York. As I said last week, they had a horrible week this week again. So,
yeah, in all honesty, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, I'm just floored at like some of the facts that some of these people, like the politicians and shit like that. Like, why won't y'all just do a full lockdown on some of these spaces? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you see, especially in New York, just do a full fucking lockdown. Like, they need to just be on full-fledged. Everybody got to be in. Like,
and that's how it kind of was. Like, their public transportation wasn't open. Nothing was like available. But I mean, I guess for China, which is a little different than the US, like, they even delivered your groceries. Like, you were not going anywhere. And they're like, now they're just getting back to, I guess you can say, like, normal. Where people are starting to come back out and stuff like that. But I'm like, bro, I don't know what it's going to take. And I'm like, is it American arrogance that's just like, people like, oh, I'll be fine?
I think so.
Like, it's not just you. What about a child that has asthma or something? Like, they can't afford to have pneumonia or anything else wrong with their lungs. And doctors are basically telling you, hey, come to the hospital when you need a ventilator. Son, you can't listen. Okay.
I think you hit it on the head, though. I think it's our arrogance, because look at how many people are still, so many of the United States folks who are still pushing the whole narratives. Oh, this is the conspiracy theories. This is fraud. All these celebrities are being paid. People are being paid for it. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Like, look at. And it's mostly, if you notice, like, so many other parts of the world are taking this so seriously, but it's mostly us who are just so, oh no, this is a fraud. This is the government trying to pull one over. And listen, I'm telling you, that's how you know that it's a situation, because I'm a conspiracist at heart, but my nigga, come on. Like,
listen,
what else do y'all, like, what do y'all have to see? Like, y'all literally seeing people, on all these breathing machines, and hospital workers literally breaking down, like, shit, just please stay your asses, you know what I'm saying, crying and shit, like, stay your ass home, we got families too, like, you know what I'm saying? So I what else do y'all have to see?
And I'm like, you got doctors, like the top doctor in the entire United States telling you, hey, stay home. You have doctors like the one I saw her interview on a blog in New York, where she's saying, like, listen, we're to the point now, we're just throwing covers over people and just moving to the next person. It's nothing that we can really do. And I'm like, I don't know, even far as, I know I probably get backlash for this. This is just me. But some of it I do blame some of the Christian community as well. Because you still have people having church. And I'm like, I feel like God delivers you from, like, one old pastor when I was really into church. He always made the statement, God delivered you from your sins, not your senses. And I'm like, it's just common sense. And I just think as a pastor, like you had the pastor in Florida today of a mega church, and he still held service. And I'm like, you cannot tell me. I mean, I just don't. I can't understand it. I'm like, everything that we know from the Bible, God is not like confused. Like it doesn't draw confusion when you really think about it. It's very simple. But I'm like, just looking at how some people are reacting to this, you could not pay me to be like, you know what, yep, I go to church and I'll be involved in it. Would not, because you have chose to be like not wise, you're not prudent, you really don't care about your congregation. So yeah.
But even but that's the part that boggles my mind. All the tech that they have, all the technology that we have, why? You
True.
can easily set up a live stream.
And especially at a mega church.
Yeah, at a mega church. I know they probably
already have
got one.
Right. So it's like there's no reason for you to convene for church. And I was like, I think that's another thing. And I'm like, especially by Florida, they're not as much as of a hotbed as New York, or you see some of the stuff coming from Chicago where they're trying to contain it. But I'm like, it's still heated, or you still have a lot of cases. So it's like, I don't understand why you're not saying, okay, we can't afford to get thousands of people together to be like, oh, we're still going to, worship God and through all of this. So you can't do that in your own home, because church is where your heart is. So if it's, I don't understand the reason why you have to come to a building to worship. Okay, I'm gonna let it go. But I'm like, as far as me being like, I'm not in the church like that anymore. I have watched like a lot of pastors' response to this and be like, I would never, ever go to their church.
Agreed. Because I'm just sorry. I just feel like it's too much tech. It's too much. We have way too much tech for people to just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? For people to be like breaking down like this. Like, go to church online. If your church don't have a live stream, pick up a live stream. Like you said, most of these mega churches got live streams. Join one of their live streams. A lot of even non-mega churches have live streams.
And that's why I was like, but you have so many avenues now as well, because I'm like, Facebook has one where you don't even have to have a smartphone. You got Zoom, where if you do have a smaller audience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. Too many options. I'm sorry. It's too many options. Even if we get bored, like I was bored during the week. So I just hit my mom on FaceTime and was like, what you doing, Mom? You know what I'm saying? Like that. Just there's just, like I said, there's way too many options for people to just be freaking out. I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Stay in the house, y'all.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the hot topics for this week.
Ready?
So we don't really have too much that's been going on, obviously, because everybody is in quarantine or should be self-quarantining. But there have been like tons of like little battles on IG. On IG Live, I was actually just right before we started recording, I was just watching the Neo versus Javante Austin beat battle, well, little battle, whatever like that. But it started kind of with Timberland and Swizz Beatz doing another beat battle. Then it went to Hitboy and Boy Wonder, and then last night was The Dream and Sean Garrett, and then today, as I was saying, they have Neo and Javante Austin. I would say huge win for hip hop, because like hip hop, R&B, just the culture period. Because man, we getting some good records out of it, and like just interesting. Like I know last night on The Dream and Sean Garrett's, The Dream dropped the demo version of like, it was the version of Holy Grail with him and him, where he did the vocals instead of Justin Timberlake. So I mean, we getting some good content out of it, like some unreleased records. I know in the Hit Boy and Boy Wonder one, They dropped a snippet of there's an unreleased Big Sean and Nipsey Hussle record. So like the culture is eating. Like we getting some good, interesting content out of them. So if y'all have a chance to kind of check out any of those little battles that are going on, I highly suggest them. They're entertaining, they're funny, because these dudes be real serious. I would love to see one with some women producers, maybe like Missy and somebody else, you know what I mean? Like if they would get the women involved, I would appreciate that a little bit. But you know, hey, at least we're getting some good content.
Yeah. I enjoy it. So I guess that's the only thing like you hinted to last week is like we're seeing like, okay, this is what social media is actually or should be used for. So I guess like that's the good part about it, and just seeing people like being lighthearted. You see artists that you don't normally see in comments and all of that stuff. So that was pretty cool. Like I saw the like Drake and Rihanna and Kevin Durant, they going back and forth with each other on DJ Spade Music live.
Yeah.
Just being lighthearted about the whole situation. So I mean that's good to see during this time.
Absolutely. It's always like I mean, like we keep saying, like this is really what social media was built for, what it was intended for, and just honestly seeing how creative some people are, what we can create, or look at the shit that we can do when we just, you know what I'm saying? Like when we just take a step back and like create, you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's good shit though. Good shit. Good time all the way around. But I guess on the flip side of that, can we talk Bootsy? Lord. Bootsy and Tory Lanez. There's a kind of flip side of that situation.
I didn't see. Well, I don't pay too much attention to Tory Lanez after the whole like little purse situation thing when he was talking about women and being able to afford purses and shit. It's like whatever, bro. But oh, Boosie, I just don't get it. Like you real, and I don't think he should have the privilege to go live again. I feel like it's just exploitation at its worst. Like you offering women to like, oh, let me see your vagina for $1,000. I don't know. I don't like it. And I'm like, I real life just had to be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and unfollow him. Even though I don't watch his lives, I used to, but like now I don't, and I especially can't watch it because it's like the worst of the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank heavens, I would say Tory Lanez hasn't gotten that far. Like his has been a lot of, I guess, him trying to be comical in a way. He hasn't gotten to the point where he's asking people to show their vaginas and things like that, but there is a lot of twerk and how some girls take it a little extra far and show extra bits because they think they're gonna get some coins from that. But I don't know what the word is. It doesn't feel. I mean, I guess maybe exploitation is a good word for it, but I guess on Tory's side, a lot of the girls are extra themselves. So, but you know what I mean. But definitely with Bootsy. Bootsy was definitely nah. We not here for like we don't need the nudity and all of that stuff like that. Like, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I should have been unfollowing him now that I think about how trashy Boosie is. I'm like, I should have been unfollowing him. But yeah, I don't like it. So yeah, I probably won't be listening to Tory Lanez either. Lame-o.
I've only seen thank goodness because I don't follow him. I've only seen some of the clips from the little blog sites, whatever like that. But I guess a lot of people like themselves and by it. They're like it's funny and blah blah. But I guess my level of entertainment is different. Like I don't
Like,
see it as cute, but it is what it
like that ain't it, Chief.
is.
I just, cause I'm like, you can still be funny and have fun without doing this. But I'm like, okay, turns hatchet. I think, I don't know. But on the positive side, I guess we saw where Lala interviewed um, Rusell Wilson and Ciara Wilson.
That is correct. I did see that as well. It was it was cute. Um, I love the way they talk about each other. You know what I mean? Like the way Russell and Ciara talk about each other is so sweet.
Not like when he was like, he was like, nobody asked me my prayer. I was like, see, that's why I be trying to tell people. They always, Ciara give us the prayer. I'm like, how y'all know Russell didn't pray for her? I'm like, cause y'all act like she was like broken down, a bad woman or something like that. I'm like, okay, she had a child by Elaine. She ain't the only one and won't be the last.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Sorry about that. But yeah, I actually agree with you because I saw a lot of people were judging her, talking about, oh, her and Russell get on our nerves because they're so lovey-dovey acting and it can't be that great and blah 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 blah. Look what happened with Future. But listen, Future is just not a good example for any of y'all who putting on y'all
Nobody.
cape for him. Stop it.
Like Future is trash of the trash.
Oh, please take off y'all capes for Future ass. Please. Damn.
He has shown Hughes trash over and over again, but it's just like I don't get it with people like, oh well, she ain't making work with Future, and she should have. What the hell you look like making it work with a fuck boy? No.
Facts. Look, Lori Harvey.
Yes, fool. Wrong fool. Then I don't know what blog it was. I don't know if it was like Shade Room, Baller. I wouldn't doubt if it was Shade Room because they shady. Where they showed the caption where it was like, I think Lil Future was playing like baseball and Russell Williams had made like a whole Russell Wilson had made like this whole little caption, and then on the same day Future had a picture of Lori Harvey and it was like life is good, and they just put both of them. I was like, could y'all make it stop and not be this petty?
Oh, I'm telling you. Whew. Girl. But yeah. During their whole little live, whatever, we saw that Russell mentioned his 5 non-negotiables. And I know on this show we've talked about having deal breakers. And that's kind of what that reminded me of, where he said he had his 5 negotiables of things that he would not, I guess he would not like, he needed in the woman that he was looking for. And it, like I said, it reminded me of when we talked about our deal breakers. For him, he said his 5 non-negotiables were: he wanted a woman of faith, a woman that was faithful, an independent woman, a woman that loved him the way his mom loved his dad when he was on his deathbed, and a woman that can tilt the room. What's your thoughts?
Um, I don't like, to me, I think that's not, it's realistic. I will say that. And I mean, I think he definitely got that with Ciara. I don't see anything really wrong with his deal breakers, and even being like, oh, she's independent, like him not putting that, because a lot of people can take that, oh, independent, that means she got blah blah blah. And it doesn't mean that, because I'm like, at the same time, yes, Ciara had her own, but I'm like, he also knew, okay, this is how I'm going to elevate the person that I'm with. And I do think we do look at the love of our parents and say, okay, this is kind of like what I want, especially if it's a good thing. So yeah, I think those were like realistic. realistic things that I can see. Like, yeah, that would
Yeah,
work.
I agree. I like the way he put into to frame like tilt the room. I was like, okay, I like that. I like that. That makes sense because, like, for me, I know one of my deal breakers is I want someone who you know what I'm saying. In essence, like he put it in words for me, who can tilt the room, who I feel like a strength and a power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like the way he put it, though. I'm gonna have to steal it.
I was just about to say to be like, yep, that's gonna be my word. Be like, tilt the room.
Let me see. Is there anything else that really happened? Oh, the NBA players, Rudy Gobert, I think that's how you say his last name, and Donovan Mitchell, those were kind of the two first people that we heard about having the coronavirus. They have been cleared of the coronavirus, according to a lot of the Sports Center reports. Also, Tom Hanks and Rita Hanks, his wife, have also been cleared, and they were able to leave Australia, and they have now returned back to the States. They are still self-quarantining, obviously, but they were cleared, and they were able to return to the U.S. So good news in that realm.
Yeah.
And one other thing. We never talked about this, but I wanted to bring it up. So did you see the interview that Oprah did? Because remember, she interviewed Idris Elba the first time when he announced that he had coronavirus, and everybody was kind of talking about Idris's wife and how she was like laid up on him and all that stuff like that during the whole thing. And then it came out a couple of, like almost a week later that his wife had tested positive for it. And Oprah sat down with them again, and she was just like, I knew that it would, they told me when he had it that I needed to be away from him or whatever like that so that I wouldn't get it. But she's like, I just wanted to be with him and blah, blah, blah. And then Oprah was like, the whole time she was sitting there talking about it, she was like, I didn't want to say I made Stedman, self-quarantine in the guest house away from me, but I do go and send him some food. And I was like, so what do you think about that? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
On which part? The Oprah part or the Idris?
On both parts.
So I feel like when it comes down to, I feel like if my spouse came in from like a trip and I know, okay, he in self-quarantine, I would not put myself in like that. And I don't think he'd be like, get away from me. To be like, hey, come in close proximity to me while I'm sick like this and you could possibly catch it. So I definitely think that to me is just like, I was kind of thrown off. So I was like, so you just stayed around him knowing he had the virus and you could have been fine. I don't know. Like, that was really weird to me. And I was like, that's too clingy almost. And I know, like, y'all know I love Idris Elba. It's my boo. But it's like at the same time, it's like she wasn't using common sense because I'm like, could you have not have been sick? And then what if he's well, he can't stay with you and you're still feeling unwell, then you just be passing it back and forth to each other. So it's like, why would you put yourself in that predicament? And then with Oprah, I mean, saying that her and Stedman just been like roommates, I didn't expect anything different. Like, I didn't even think the man even come into the main house to be like, listen, I'll meet you in the guest house, let you knock my boots off, and then I'm gonna go back to my main house. I can't see it that he even allowed on the quarters, the main quarters. Like, it's like, I'll come back there, you don't come up here. So I don't know. With that one, I wasn't the least bit shocked.
I agree with you. With Oprah and Stedman, I was not surprised that she said that she got him out in it, because I was like, don't he live there anyway? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they live in the same house anyway. So I was not surprised by that at all. But I am with you. I thought it was weird as hell. Like, when I saw the video, initially when he announced and she was sitting with him, I was like, so you just gonna be all up on him like that? And she had, at that point, she hadn't even announced that she had been tested or if she had got it or whatever like that. And so I'm just like, so like I saw what's her face, Heidi Klum and her husband, like literally she was all isolated in another room, like they were literally like kissing through like a glass mirror or window or something because she had felt sick or whatever like that, and she didn't want him to catch it. So I'm like, the fuck is wrong? Like, I'll be honest with you. I'm a hypochondriac anyway. Like, nigga, I don't want to be catching nothing from nobody. I love you, but you got to be away from me. So yeah, I agree with you. That was like super weird, and it seemed a little clingy. I don't know. It's in their relationship to me is interesting anyway. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I was like, sis, like, because at first I was like, girl, get away from that man. You know, like, find you some relaxation. But just to be like, I just had questions because I'm like, did you already have it with him? Because I was like, I can see, but technically I still wouldn't be, even if me and my spouse had it, I'd be like, okay, who gonna take the bedroom? Who gonna take the living room and make them a little fort or whatever? We can go get a big blow up mattress. We gotta figure this out, because I'm like, shit, even with different DNA, you know, like, you can have a different strain even than the person. So I'm like, no. We like, and then we both get better. We wipe all this stuff down, make sure that, you know, we are fine. But just for you to, I couldn't. I was like, but
it was definitely cringe.
Right. I was like, maybe my love doesn't run that deep, because I'm not doing it. I'm like, listen, like they got it, they show where he like took his wife the food while she was in quarantine, and he was like all like dressed up where he had the mask, and that would be me. Be like, I will still care for you. I'll still make you food, make sure you got your hot tea. But listen, you're gonna have to come get this from the door.
Preach. Like, I can't catch this for you, baby. I love you, but I can't catch it.
And I'm like, I'm already like, not so much as a hypochondriac, but when I'm like sick and something is wrong with like my nose, my stomach, or my mouth, it's like I'm a complete fucking, like, not even a baby. I'm just worse. It's just like I'm intolerable. I'm fussy. I'm angry. And it's like, I don't want to deal with her. So I can't do it. Yeah.
It's definitely was one of those situations. So, but since we are kind of talking relationships, let's go ahead and move into our relationship portion of the week. And for our relationship question, I want to ask you, which one do you believe? Do you believe in relationships that your partner makes you whole, or that you have to be your own whole person first in order for relationships to work?
I feel, and it's gonna contradict everything that I think ever said in the past. I think your partner brings some type of completeness to you. And I've always been like, you have to be this whole person, you have to be this whole person. But like now, and I don't want to say now that I'm married, because I think you can just be in like a relationship and you can see like, man, these were little, like, and they don't have to be big voids that you're missing, but these like little small gaps where this person comes in and like fills those gaps. And it doesn't have to be anything significant or anything like that, but that person just comes in and it's just like, you know what? Now this makes sense, and this part of me makes more sense, and I feel more complete, because I don't know, I guess like I don't think you're ever just totally like complete, because you're always growing. So there are parts of you that even in a relationship that you got to take away from and like, okay, let me fill this back up with this. So I definitely like now really think that like yes, your partner in some sense they complete you like definitely.
And see, I'm the complete opposite. I fully I fully still think that you have to be your own whole person. Like you can't look for someone to completely complete you. They're definitely going to add something to you, into your life. Kind of like you're a whole cake, but you add ice into that bad boy and that shit be fire. You know what I'm saying?
But then you
So
can't eat a whole cake without the icing though, because the icing.
listen, I could eat cake without icing.
Man, listen, no, ma'am, you give me a cake, give me some cake without some icing on it. Take it.
You
I
don't
don't want some bread.
you don't eat pound cake?
No, like that's my
Oh, well, see, there we
favorite
go.
thing. Be like,
There we
this
go.
cake is not done. Like even pound cake, it has to have like that lemon drizzle icing on it.
See, there we go. See, that's how we different. I could eat like just a regular little pound cake by
No,
itself.
ma'am. No, ma'am. Put some icing on it. I need some ice.
Oh man. But yeah, so I definitely, for me, I think that, you have to be your own whole person, and then that other person comes along and just to the picture. But you never know. Like you said, we're always growing and changing and all those different things. I've said things in the past, even in these last couple of shows. I'm like, now that I think about certain things now, as I get older, things change for me. Circumstances change. So that could change in a couple of years. I doubt it, but but you never know. But yeah. So that is our relationship portion for the week. Any new music, books, TV, anything like that?
Nothing. Well, music, really nothing. I have put on like I have my whole little Netflix lineup for the next couple of like probably this week because I ain't gonna say the next couple of weeks. Now that I'm at home more. But definitely want to get Tiger King under my belt from all of the stupid stuff I've heard about it. Now I'm watching this. I am hooked on crime documentaries. Don't ask me why. But I am watching Unusual Suspects, and there is a new episode of Dirty Money on Netflix that I am watching as well. So those are like my two biggest things right now.
Okay. And have you had a chance? Did you check out the Janae album yet?
I haven't. I'm gonna do it. I'm not there like at that place. Like I like her music, but I'm like I'm never. I don't know. I'll do it.
So for me, I took a listen to the Janae album. I will say it's different than her previous ones, for sure. Like if you know Janae Ayeku's records previously, she's very like, I don't know. She's like I don't even know who you could compare her to, but a lot of people consider her like a breakup specialist, I guess. She mostly talks like about breakups and things of that nature. But this album is definitely a little bit different. It starts off with a couple breakup records, like You Have None of Your Concern and all that, like that. She does have a lot of like I think she's on a whole like healing vibe, but like if you've seen her on IG or whatever, she has like her little healing, I don't know what are them things called? She like hits with the little stick. What is that thing called? Like it sounds like a little triangle symbol thing, healing sounds and shit like that. So she's kind of in that whole spiritual vibe or whatever that she's on or whatever like that. She loves her some mushrooms, so she probably be tripping out and all that stuff like that. But it's definitely not the typical Janae album, I will say. But yeah, so take that for whatever it is. You know what I mean? I will say I don't like it as much as I've liked her other ones.
Okay.
But yeah. Anything else on your end?
Nothing on my end. So
Um, all right, so I'm gonna jump into the nerd moment of the week. And this nerd moment is pretty much brought to you by Marvel, because that's what it's about. Um, there are rumors now that since everything's pretty much shut down as far as due to the coronavirus, that the Black Widow movie has been put on hold for indefinitely. It was supposed to be released, I think, this month or even maybe May. I don't know, sometime in the summer. But there are rumors that instead of being released in theaters, that it'll go straight to Disney Plus. I don't know if they're gonna make people like pay for it separately, like after how they do like the on-demand type stuff, or if it's just gonna go straight on Disney Plus. And if you have Disney Plus, then you can just watch it. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but that's the current rumor as far as the Black Widow movie is concerned. Not Marvel, but in the Disney realm, they're also saying with the Mulan movie as well, because Mulan was supposed to come out in theaters, so they're saying that may also go straight to Disney Plus. And then rumors as far as the new upcoming Spider-Man movie, they're saying that Daredevil is slated to appear in the Spider-Man movie, and that it will be played by the same gentleman who played Daredevil in the Netflix series. So yeah, we'll see how all of that kind of plays out. We'll also see as far as kind of all of the television shows, as have pretty much been put on hold. So we'll see how a lot of them, either their seasons will be shortened or they'll play through however many episodes they have left, and then once they can kind of pick up filming, they'll finish out their season. So we'll see how that kind of goes as far as with TV and even movies and all that. I don't know. We'll see how everything kind of goes, I guess. Once we get some better ideas, from our government of what the hell to expect. I wonder if this is going to push into election season. Oh, God, I cannot even.
Not him. With anybody else, maybe. I don't have I just can't. Like, even watching, like, Julian watches press conferences, and every time I hear his voice, it's like nails on a chalkboard. I'm like, please, either get out or change it. Like, I don't want to hear him talk.
Oh man, girl, listen. My biggest concern is that this is going to press into election season, which I already feel like it is, and that's going to get reelected, because everybody knows that anytime there's a crisis, people trust the president more. Start with Bush during 9/11, and you know what I mean, all those type of things. And we've seen in the polls that his approval rating is the highest it's ever been. So yeah, listen, I don't. Girl,
the way that I'm like, it's something. It's like, are you suffering from dementia? Or he's almost like, you know how children lie and you be like, bro, I'm looking at it in your hand. Why are you lying to me? Like, I can see you lying. And it's like, well, we can just go back and play the clips where I don't understand. I'm like, it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know
either. I'm hoping that they, like I said, we get some type of hard resolutions or whatever like that. Because even just think about, like, if this continues to drag on, and as that gets closer and we get closer to having to voting, and I mean, how the hell are we supposed to vote? You know what I mean? Like,
that is the most. You ain't doing nothing but pass it. Ugh. They'll probably be one of them times where I'm like,
You see what I'm saying? And that would drive people to not want to go out and vote. Like, have they even thought about what's on to then?
I honestly doubt it. This leadership, and the only thing that I don't understand about his approval ratings going up now that we're in a crisis is that how he's handled it. Like, we have seen from past leaderships when pandemics have came through that they've been more responsive. You have people on the front lines like the doctor in New York, and he comes in and was like, yeah, even in New York and blah, 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 that's not what the numbers say. The lady showed us they ain't got number 6 ventilators, bro. What the other ones at? Because you saying like, oh, they on their way. No, she said that was already supposed to be there. So it's just stuff like, and I even think his response is probably is some of the problem where people don't take it serious because he came out and was like, oh, this is not a big deal, blah blah blah, and it's like now it's big ass deal. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know,
Yeah.
but I doubt they have any plan in place to make voting. Because I'm like, should you still gotta look like voting for us? It's still kind of archaic. Like I was like, there's no better way to do this. Um, So yeah, I doubt it though. I doubt it. I feel like if we don't go to the polls, then it's like, oh, your vote won't count, or I mean, it won't count.
Are they gonna I wonder if they're gonna just let everybody do write-in, like a write-in ballot. I mean, like the mail-in ones,
Because that would be the only way. It'd be like for me, because people like this, you don't do anything but pass shit during the whole voting process.
Yeah. Because literally, even though they do they do space you out, but you just have to think of y'all all go up to the same little counters, then all go to the same little 6 or 7 machine. You know what I mean? So, and there's no space in those lines unless you do early voting. Obviously, when we went to early voting, because there was no line, but like when there's a line, it's like packed people.
A line.
Yeah. So.
And even with like the little cartridge that they put, I'm like, people have already used those. You're not the first one. So hopefully it'll be over with by then, because I'm like, I can't stay in the house this long.
Child, listen.
Like
through April is sending me. I was like, listen, I was hoping it'd be done in the beginning of April so that because my birthday roll around the mail. I was like, yeah, I can go out and enjoy my birthday. But look, I'm finna be like Lil Nas X and be like, shit, I'm pushing my birthday back too.
Like, we're just gonna make it July just to be on the safe side. But that's why I was like, I feel like I just told you, I was like, I don't give a damn if we go to Atlanta. When this is over with, we going somewhere. We not staying here. Shoot.
Getting the fuck out ASAP.
Right. Like, listen, just fill my tank up, and wherever I stop it, this it. But we're not staying here.
Right. Oh, and the last thing before we go, I do want to mention, we didn't mention this in Hot Topics, but for all of y'all who are quarantined in the house with y'all little babes and whatever like that, please be safe. I saw online that they said that they're anticipating a shortage of condoms because the biggest condom manufacturer in the world, there is in, I think, Malaysia, and their factories have been cut down. They were shut down initially, and now they have still only returned about 50% of their workforce. So they're anticipating a condom shortage. So y'all can still catch STDs and everything else under the sun. If y'all don't want to make no babies, please don't be out here making no babies. I do not want to see come the fall everybody and their mama on there talking about, I can't stand my baby daddy and all my baby mama get on my, like, I don't want to see it. Y'all have been warned. Y'all know it's coming. So please be safe. And if y'all don't want no babies, don't be out here sexing up people that y'all don't want babies with, okay? Hot mess. Anywho, I have nothing else. Do you have anything else?
Nothing else for me.
All right. So thank you to everybody for continuing to listen to our show. We're going to try to be back every week as much as we can. Try to drag up as much content, dig up as much content as we can. Y'all know it's a little dry, but we doing our best. But thank you guys so much for listening. As Falan said at the top of the show, please check our website as well as check our YouTube page. Make sure if you haven't already subscribed to, please subscribe. And we hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay safe.